What's up, peeps? It's your boy, I feel good guy, and I'm way back. I know this is I came back yesterday with another Myth Park Ride stream, but I got film because I'm in a star slow today. I was on doing one film two access. I think there's like two more I got catch up on, two or three more, and I think there's one game I got catch up on reactions. So yeah, I blame Hoy to be able to do a video soon, so it's better to blame Hoy reaction over soon. And another Hoy reaction over soon too. So yeah. Anyways. So this is the last Mason Circus film series. It's called This is Not the End of Mason Circus, which I'm pretty sure it is. But I would type out it on my Mason Circus type back stream I did, series type back stream I did on the Google Drive. This channel link is in some video. That if you're getting to Mason Circus, it won't be like good like 2 years, I think. So I'm gonna do like 2028. So yeah. Guys, this is all I say Chris like also Chris got Alright. I was able to stop lagging. Like I said, I did yesterday. Hopefully, I think it beginning better tonight here soon, and the lag will stop. That'll make it better about the browser, but I look like for like 100 different browsers. I'm picking a laptop, and none of them work, so I have no idea at this point. Anyways, peeps, I'm gonna go ahead and begin this. Because I was interested on why film series things why not the end, but pretty sure it is, because not like all the questions. The only said that you have those like tasks coming back and like you're like undistracted, but so that like can't happen. So yeah. Anyways, let's get play a tease.
The finale for the Amazing Digital Circus is finally here. And as expected, there were a lot of laughs and a lot of tears.
Yep.
And the door left wide open for more stories in this world. That's right, friends. This isn't the end of the Amazing Digital Circus. And I can... Hello to Theory, the show that's thinking real hard about conjuring up a subscribe button. Wait, it's right there. Do you see it? Click it for me. So...
Hold on a minute. Let me...
Thinking real hard about conjuring up a subscribe button. Netflix deal and more theories than you might expect from this little indie animation that could. The Amazing Digital Circus, created by Gooseworks and Glitch Productions, is finally at an end. They actually released this in theaters, where just like other independent artist-driven projects that started either on or were led by YouTubers, it made bank. $20 million its opening weekend, which is just a game changer for indie animation like this. The episode itself is up for you to go watch right now, but I made a point to get tickets for the finale screening the day it premiered. And you know what? I have a lot of conflicting opinions about it. I have thoughts. But putting all of that aside, seeing this community come together and, at least at my screening, have a fun time together celebrating this show. Hey, maybe you'll follow William and the guy in the dope Kinger cosplay at my local screening. Thanks for saying hi. And sorry I did not catch your name, Kinger. I also loved the funny little clip they had with the yellow fish from the beach episode, asking folks not to spoil things or leak anything online.
We had that on my reacted also on the article I business channels. So yeah, which I will also link that description. I'll leave my typeback to my daily task series. We actually did up episode 9 on the Google business channel, and it's great to do all this video. So yeah. Anyways.
Released that online sometime. I don't know, it was like a YouTube short or something. It was hilarious. Now, as I said, I have a lot of thoughts about this episode. I'm actually going to be doing a big project pretty soon in the style of the Backrooms timeline, where I sit down and rewatch the whole series now that we have the full story arc and just really break down its themes.
Same way you snap timeline on Game Series, probably.
First reaction? Oh my god, we were actually right about some things. Some pretty big parts of the series. Back in our very first theory about the show, after one episode, we predicted
that was Map House, and not you, Lee. That was from Map House time. I forgot about the film series in a hot minute, so yeah. But good time, Map House. So give My credit, not you, because it's not a series fast so. Like, man, someone didn't come after the last time. It's so good films did, but I guess not. Whatever.
The digital circus. Instead, they're all digital copies of the brains of humans who've put on these headsets.
And indeed, this finale flat out confirms that these characters were created from brain scans of humans, but that they themselves were not actually human. And hey, by extension, I guess both Jax and Pomni were both technically AI. Okay. Listen, I'm just kidding. Put down the pitchforks. Yeah. So those theories did not pan out like we had hoped. And, dang it, Jack did not voice Cosmo with it.
I'm so confused why people thought Topback was going to be like in this episode. Topback is way too freaking busy. Probably put himself in that. That just could be a Minecraft movie sequel. It was probably way too freaking busy filming stuff for freaking the Minecraft movie sequel. They're trying to figure voice com. Like, Topback's a busy person, okay? What do you think was in this? If freaking Gliss was somehow able to get Topback, I was not going to be shocked. Because I couldn't see where Gliss was going to get Topback. Like, what? I don't think Topback even knows about this, like, Digital Circus. I would advise if he does, but I don't think he does. Here's the thing. I would have been 100 billion% shocked that if Topback was in this. Because I don't see Topback being anything like this. Like, this is like way too small for saying. Topback is and like only like big like animation stuff, like big anime studios, like Elimination, Mario movie. Oh, my God, movie is not animated, but still, Kung Fu Panda, DreamWorks. So they only think Chris is gonna be able to get someone who will voice the character in multiple DreamWorks movies in this. This would it be like it would be like Touch Timberlake or freaking Anna Kendrick got to a Buffett Trolls, nothing DreamWorks movie in this. No. Y'all need to stop these freaking stupid hoaxes because at this point they're just stupid, they're dumb. But what is this community? I'm sorry. We're done. Topback would never be made to those hoaxes. I'm sorry. That was just a stupid theory. I know that why people and they've been serious a hoax.
The Amazing Digital Circus has had its curtains called. I don't believe we've seen the last of this series. And not just because they released a Fortnite collab.
Plus, it would explain why Joan...
Oh, yeah. They went Fortnite for some reason. With everything except Fortnite. I just forget it wasn't Fortnite. Which actually is funny enough. I don't see Topback. Hold on. No, bring about to that Topback saying. Don't say Topback is connected to Gorillaz because Topback was in a humility material from Gorillaz. As of course, Gorillaz is guided to Fortnite, and Mr. Circus is guided to Fortnite. But I thought that's like the only connection that Topback has Mr. Circus that. Gorillaz guided to Fortnite, but Topback guided to Fortnite, so that's the first part. No, man, I'm talking out my butt right now. I need to stop myself from talking down right now. I can do things I say, okay? Because I'm my brain right now. Oh my gosh, I need more drink.
Has been here the past 2 weeks.
I know why you guys have
Given what we see in this episode, we haven't seen the final performance of these characters. Not yet. But how? In what medium? Will Gooseworks be involved? Please.
Maybe. Because they did point being like in the morning, like at the first period, pretend like blanket cell for free, like pretend our house cell. I can see like they'll actually be like missing those lookers on field game because there was actually I'm not sorry to feel for Darko before, shout out to Darko. Darko played on a Mason those lookers fan game. Really good. The other thing was they didn't have voice actors or anything because obviously they were too busy voicing because the characters for the episodes. But now that the series did, they could probably, Gooseworks could probably click to see if they want to like an actual like mission so it's like field game. But they'll be up with, if it's like Switch or Xbox. We have actually like official voice actors, like Pony's voice actors, Taxi voice actors. So yeah. I think next thing for Mission Circus should definitely be probably a Mission Circus like official field game. Because that's what Mission Circus was based on anyways, like field games. Like Super Mario 64, I think. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be I think that's My brain's away. Why not? Give me a minute. Yeah, talking way too fast. My brain's trying to catch up to me. So I think the next thing for Mason Focus is gonna be a video game. First of all, Mason Focus video game released by Glitch. I think Glitch works. And we have the official Mason Focus voice actors in it. So yeah.
Get some rest, Queen. Today, loyal theorists, let's talk this finale, do some thematic analysis, and see just how this series finale leaves the door wide open for the amazing Digital Circus to come back. Open the door and give that giant abstracted monster up. Theorists, we're going in. The end with a reek of the very first episode's title theme, but Cain is missing. And when we see what's inside the circus, well, everything's fallen apart. The castmates regroup, and just like I predicted in my last theory, Jax kind of crashes out at Kinger. And he's very upset that the other castmates aren't upset at Kinger for quote-unquote messing up and deleting Cain. Specifically, he says, quote, he gets to mess up like this and everyone takes his side? And given everyone's silence, yeah, Kinger does. That's what happens when you try to be helpful and kind and good instead of mean and cruel. You get grace when you make mistakes. Kinger reveals that while he was on the computer too, they exist entirely as digital brain scans of real people who have probably moved on with their lives. Understandably, this greatly upsets the cast, and they all need some time to process this alone. But eventually, Omni goes and finds Kinger, who teaches her how to conjure. And slowly, they start to repair except for Jax. Repairing the circus until eventually, it looks at least a little bit like it did before everything fell apart. Also, it's kind of funny and tragic that Kinger is wearing a bucket on his head like this entire time, and there has to be a better solution to blackout lights, right? Well, actually, there is. Thanks to the partner for today's theory, Manta.
I don't like these because let me skip this, but I'll maybe just bring it out again, but it is. Oh, there we go.
For you to a deep, restful sleep. Thanks again to Manta Sleep for sponsoring this theory, but let's get back into the amazing Digital Circus. However, not all of them make it. Yeah, before they can find a real equilibrium.
It's so tax distracting. It's just kind of distracting. And I said my amazing circus because when I've recorded my amazing circus listening to Chris Blood's video. That before it got released on YouTube. I think it was like a week before it got released on YouTube. So June 12th, I think, so I recorded it. And I said that reaction that maybe the YouTube force was so the episode was so tax distracted. But nope, the YouTube force is so tax distracting. Which is weird. Because it seems like a thing that this is kind of reminds me. I meant to say my reaction Fashion Line. That must be from the effect of I was in a scary episode from SpongeBob where people believe those Bob was so scary when they'll transform into a snail. It's like so SpongeBob transform into a snail, so I know it's me. I can't do it right now. Comparing that episode to this, but basically the same thing. Because why didn't like Chris so tax just like distracting? Do you think it would be like that disturbing? Like, I just don't get it because when he texts one time and saying like want to talk to Pomni and he says like never mind, and then after that he's distracted. I know that was because cut out time, but I don't know why they would have had to cut out time. I have no idea why they cut out because like. They were so like some disturbing things in the last and the episode 8 with freaking Kang, going all crazy. So honestly, I think that the thing I started saying would have been that crazy to be starting this show. So it's just like I said, this whole Kane, almost distracting and going crazy. Like I'm saying 8 how like some like most like disturbing imagery like in the animation like in a long time. So I don't know why they couldn't so like they get so freaking Tasha's skin get peeled off. But now freaking tax abstracting like what? I have no freaking clue. I hope that on Gooseworks as a Q&A, You know, as that's why tax is so attracted Paul was his own, and why it's got to tax is so abstraction. So yeah.
Suddenly in the story, honestly, it was a little bit jarring, but if what they were going for was how abrupt and tragic a real-world death can be, they succeeded here. Anyway, hoping to find something of Jax inside the abstracted creature, Pomni tricks it into a dark space and then just hugs him. From there, she sort of interns of Jax.
If I have plugs, for real, hallucinating.
And at least in this first part, Pomni finds a space with a actually leading to a scenario that Jax imagined.
Something cool I reaction. Hold on. How did I repeat? Forgetting myself what I was saying. Sorry, I knew I said scenario. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't realize. Jeez, there we go. One name now. We'll get continued. Not so Google but Google reacts. Jeez.
Which was how he would react if each of the other castmates abstracted. Like, we saw that he tried to project like he didn't really care if Gangle abstracted, and he kind of became cruel in his silliness afterwards. He basically becomes like a Looney Tunes character. Zoob knows was very close to Gangle. Likewise, we see that he becomes even worse. Used to be friends in this episode, and that Ragatha is kind of Jax's last connection to the circus that he first arrived in? Well, yeah, that makes sense. What's most interesting, though, here for me is that one of these doors is just completely chained shut. If I had to guess, unless Jax the Kinger, that door has to be Pomni's.
Yeah.
Despite everything, Jax has let himself get so close to Pomni that he shut off the track. Not even imagining what would happen if Pomni was gone. Anyway, after confronting various parts of Jax's personality and having them sad because that seems to be a representative of Pomni, eventually finds a room that's just Jax's memories. And here we and his history and journey through the circus from before he entered magic story. His human form was
hold on. Dude, why does this keep happening? No. What the heck? Stop.
Cosmo and Ribbit form a close-knit circle with Jax, helping him ease into his new life in the circus. And I mean, Jax and Ribbit get close. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I felt some insane chemistry there. And when one of the flashbacks hanging out with Ribbit in the bedroom, I was like, is this going where I think it's going? There are children in this theater. But it doesn't. Though the two do get intimate, it's more about sharing their past and opening up about their trauma.
Yeah.
Ribbit shares her bad experience with religion and family, while for a long while feels that he did not have a good relationship with his parents at all. He didn't live up to their standards, and he held on to a secret for a long time. And when he eventually revealed that secret to his mother, she just laughed at him in a way that was cruel. But when she tried to hug Jax at the end of it, he just pushed her away. So much so that she fell down and stopped moving, and he wasn't even sure if she was alive afterward. So he just ran. That's why we saw him on the streets. He was homeless. Given the description of Jax's human form at the end of the episode, as well as the fact that Gooseworks identifies a lot with Jax, it seemed pretty clear to me that the secret he was carrying and what caused his struggles in the real world was that he was trans. To be clear, I am not saying that being trans is any sort of struggle in and of itself, only that the world is often unfair and cruel to those who don't fall into traditional.
If that's the case, then why would it be confused like Pomni or Ribbit, because I know that. Hold on, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. No, I know that's not time, but it's because of somebody in particular may think I'm transphobic. If I'm not, please don't believe that I'm a person. Anyways, put some rest down because I'm not. I trans rights, of course, and not what I was saying about like 3 years ago. But I know trans rights. Forget how I passed out because of that. But it makes no sense because again, why would Tyson get friends for Ribbit and Pomni, right? That would make no sense. But I'm gonna go with it, I guess.
Gender roles or identities. Also, given that Jax and the other castmates in the circus still use he, him for both Jax and his human counterparts, that's what I'm going to be using for the rest of this episode too. Cool? Cool. Unfortunately, before they can continue to open up to one another, Kaufmo interrupts Jax and Ribbit, and Jax sort of panics and leaves. And unfortunately, it's all downhill from here. He pushes both Ribbit and Kaufmo away, and just like we saw their relationship build and build, now they fall apart. Jax insists he made up everything he shared with Ribbit and deliberately hurts her feelings, eventually leading to an argument and a snowy adventure. Ribbit soon abstracts afterwards. Kaufmo follows, and then Pomni appears, leading us to the events of the show. Honestly, this was just a beautiful encapsulation of this flaws and all, and gives us a chance to say goodbye to Jax. He completely fades away because, yeah, there's no stopping this. Despite saying that he doesn't want to go, the Jax entity is right. Everything we know about Jax is gone. And though the other castmates say their seats and curtains for the abstracted Jax to rest in, and then they just mourn their friend. It's sad, man, but the show ain't over yet. We then zoom out and head into the void, where we find Kane? Wait, what? Yeah, gonna be real with you on this one, loyal theorists. I got real confused here. They made such a big deal about Kane being killed in the last episode, and then insisted he was dead outside of the show on social media. If they were gonna bring him back, I think they needed to do a little bit more explaining as to how and why. Like, is the void just like the recycling bin
again? Hopefully, no,
or is this like a hard drive where the data is
again? Why is all the tax stacks in bed?
Actually gone until it's completely overwritten? I even went back to episode 1 to see if there was more explanation when Kane took Pomni out into the void, but he just said that they weren't really sure what was up there. If you have any other ideas or actions, all this happened, please on the comments. But either way, I just think this decision was super earned. Kane uses this time of the circus action, and he realizes that he was sort of in the wrong. This huge character development changes him for the better. I also have to wonder, we previously joked that maybe Bubble was the remnant of the blue dot AI that Kane had consumed, but we dismissed that for a whole lot of reasons. But at the same time, now, I think it's worth revisiting that idea. See, when Kane does reappear out in the void, he's accompanied by it's not the character ever. It's literally just a bubble that he sees his own reflection. However, as Kane continues his adventure here in the void, finding the internet access, brain scans, whatever, Bubble doesn't follow him. Talking actually appear again for the rest of the show, and that might be related to Kane's out and setting. It seems like it was the blue AI, the one speaking out against human cast members. Well, at least that seems to be the case in Reddit, similarly, but
is it done lagging? Oh my god, I was big last spike. I'm gonna go back like 20 seconds. There we go.
Sort of ripping the blue dot out and setting it free. I mean, just think about it. Whenever Kane has been sort of glitching out, it seems like it was the blue AI that was the one speaking out against the human and cast members. Well, at least that seems to be the case in fact. Similarly, Bubble sort of took on that role when speaking to Kane. He's sort of evil.
Genuinely bad at this. You really were the lesser of the two.
Yeah.
So again, was Bubble the manifestation of that inner consciousness? Back to one of our original theories that Matt and I wrote ages ago, saying that Bubble could represent that other AI, and that Cain killed a Bubble. You know, Abel, Cain and Abel. Get it? It's dumb, but it kind of works. Also, again, choice, if this is true, to make the blue dot the villain here, right? Since it's the one that seems to be driving the anti-human sentiment within Cain and leads him to actually hurting the cast. Something I saw point after the last episode, when Cain is crashing out and starts attacking the cast, he like physically pins them down, but he's doing it in a way that wouldn't permanently hurt any of them. Like he's holding Gangle so her ribbons don't fall. He's caging Ragatha and Zubul so their stuffing and pieces don't go flying everywhere, etc., etc. Here, he wants to hurt their feelings to quote-unquote put them in their place, but he doesn't want to hurt them. And that is the red dot Cain that tries so hard to get redemption at the end of this show. Naturally, that makes me think, was the blue dot here the real quote-unquote show? The one angry at humanity for whatever reason? Was it of humanity? Well, if so, that's not what we want or need in this world right now. Humanity is supposed to be imperfect, to grow and learn and make mistakes. And whether or not Glitch and Gooseworks meant to add that sort of anti-AI sentiment into this show when it started, it ended up landing that way. So, you know, nice. Anyway, Cain starts drifting towards, well, something. It's a bit unclear, but we see two versions of the same scene here. One is Cain fully rendered as his circus Sona, and the other is the red Cain dot from the intro of this episode. I originally interpreted this as Cain was experiencing how on the computer.
Yeah, makes sense.
World. We actually see him break through several invisible walls to get to this connection, which I interpreted as him breaking using the computer that the circus is on. This then lets him connect to a Wi-Fi network, and he uses the time to search what's going on with the humanities of the cast. Eventually, he's then booted out and back into the void, and after fighting with himself and almost crashing out again, Cain reaches within himself, literally, and takes out the blue dot AI out of him. Without the blue dots, he's significantly less powerful, but they just weren't compatible. So, with great sadness, Cain says goodbye and lets the blue dot go, and it just sort of floats away. I now have to wonder if that blue dot is just like out there, somewhere in the system, doing its own human-hating thing, but, you know, who knows? Cain returns to the circus and apologizes for what he's done to hurt them. Obviously, they're cautious, but Cain wants to give complete control of the circus to the cast now. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want. And as a way to start to repair their relationship, Cain tells them anything and everything that he found out about their human selves. I'm not going to go through all of them now.
Yeah.
Most of what we sussed out about their backstories and previous theories was correct. Honestly, this is just a really sweet moment and a real emotional catharsis for the series, giving us a lot of closure for these characters. But the real growth here for the cast of the circus, this is where they accept that they're not these people, not anymore. When Cain starts calling Pomni Abigail her human name, and chooses to buy Pomni instead. That's who she's really going to be. Sure, she was Abigail once. She's not Abigail. Characters eating and talking and laughing together around a round table. A direct parallel to how the first episode ended, where they were all lined up on stage. They were pressure, play, and act back then. But now they're looking at one another because they've become a real family. Cue the end credits where we get more snapshots of the post-ending lives of these characters, including another beach episode, a cooking episode, spelunking, playing in a rock band, Christmas, and Zubul and Gangle straight up having a good time in Zubul's room. You know what? Good for them. The credits of Cain putting in order to be the
I don't see that
against like everyone or something like that. But it could be the blue dot, but it's probably not. And that is where this story comes to a close. But that doesn't mean we're out of things to talk about or that this is the end of the amazing digital circus. And why do I say that? Well, it all comes down to the segment where Cain is out in and how we interact with the outside world. Yeah, the way the scene was.
Yeah.
Kane and a that resist Kane. From the Kane character's point of view, it's a door representing a Wi-Fi network. But from the Red Dot's point of view, it's a folder full of the brain scans of some member cast. We see the Red Dot open folder of the brain scans, again making identical motions to Kane Wi-Fi door. We see him find the brain scan of a man named Mike Dobby. We then see the Red Dot create a digital circus and shove Mike Dobby's brain inside of it. We then cut to the stage of the digital circus, and Scratch appears out of thin air. So, hold up, wait, what? I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is incredibly unclear. Like, when I was watching this for the first time in theaters, I straight up thought that he'd revived Scratch. And versions of the old cast screening with game.
Not him. I thought y'all. Yeah, I thought that's a winning reason for not because he was there too. Because that's what I think of how this is can continue with a video game with game series real thing couple. Maybe I don't know.
Back. I told them that the characters were going to come back because I thought that's what happened. But then none of them showed up at the circus at the end. In fact, we get to see how their abstractive selves have found an equilibrium with the rest of the cast, either hanging out in a dark circus tent or in an aquarium type enclosure that the non-abstracted cast can visit. Oh. Huh? Strange. So, like,
all I know is that again.
A word again. Yes, we see the creation of what we think is the digital circus at the beginning of episode 8, with the Red Dot making it after it absorbs the blue dot. So it'd be really weird to show that same event in a completely different way in a completely different context, wouldn't it? So that makes me think, yeah, this is a different circus we're seeing made right here. Another thing here, but the number of brain scans doesn't line up with anything we see in the series either. Yeah, if you go back and watch it, there were 10 brain scans in this folder. At least that's how many I counted when I went back for a second screening. But we only see 7 characters, including Keener entering the circus at the very beginning. So at first I thought, wait, that's proof that these are likely the brain scans of the abstracted characters. But at the end of the series, when the cast are painting a mural to honor the fallen, abstracted cast mates, there are only not there was. Then I remembered that there are other castmates on the doors of the digital circus that were crossed out that aren't on the mural. So either Glitch and Gooseworks didn't think that they were important enough to include, there's a story here we don't know, or they just didn't think it through. And I don't think it was that last one. So, okay, laying down all of the pieces here. Either what we're seeing here is the creation of a brand new circus where all of these older characters are being reborn to start the cycle all over again, or this was showing us Kane creating the original circus again. So, like, kind of a flashback, I think.
That's what I
personally, I'd like it to be the former, but I'm leaning towards it being the latter as the intention here. And though this was a cool moment, if that was the intention, I don't think it was very well communicated here. I mean, I still can't tell. But all that being said, if Glitch wanted to, this could be the moment for them to break out and turn it into something else. See, ever since this show became such a massive hit, I've had this lingering thought in the back. The Amazing Digital Circus is like a once-in-a-lifetime hit for an independent studio like Glitch. These characters and their struggles really with an entire generation. And it gave Glitch so many resources to do more mainstream do not see a world where they never go back to this well. And that's not just me saying that. That's just Roger Morgana here.
Digital Circus, but this is the ending. This is stupid.
I guess I didn't get that. Hold on.
Here, check out what she said at one of the screenings of the finale.
So this is not the end of the journey for Digital Circus, but this is...
One more time again. Oh my goodness, this freaking internet's gonna kill me, I swear.
Things of the finale.
So this is not the end of the journey for Digital Circus, but this is the ending. This is the story.
Did you catch that? Yeah. Well, this story is...
Yeah, but like I said in the intro, if we're gonna make this okay, it's probably be like to like probably not at the end of like 2027, like November or December. Gotta continue like a lot more. So I was like, that's Benefit, Game of Force, Gaslight District, and those that continue up on Beyond the Hill. So these are the souls that have. I'm gonna break something as well. This free internet got on north. So luckily, like I said, I was trying to do it for like months long. Hopefully, for like a good like months, I think, and then hopefully have faster internet soon. But so these are all the shows that Chris I continue for the again. It was take up to my this Soga season 2. So yeah, but I sent my Soga TV top back stream once again link in description below if you're that I think we might get a Mason Digital season 2 once I think on that Gaslight District ends or that's gonna fans. Because Game of Force is basically if they Game of Force that probably won't be like 2028. Game of Force with them all three Sogas. Game of Force probably until last months. So I think they're gonna wait until Gaslight District ends or they got not gonna fans to, you know, with you about doing Amazing Digital season 2. So yeah. For now, let's just be patient. My guess is that we're not gonna get more Amazing Sogas until it'll by the end of 2027, so November, December 2027, or maybe early 2028, like March or April of 2028. So yeah, or maybe June of 2028. I don't know, but anyway, it's gonna be a pretty long time for get more Digital Sogas. So yeah, but I think next thing for Digital Sogas is gonna be maybe the first Digital Sogas, you know, before. You know, so yeah, because like they just said, it's the end of hold on, what is my freaking I need my train man. Yes, said it was the end of that specific story, so I'm gonna go to another story. So yeah, with our new character stuff. So it means we'll probably be seeing attacks upon me anymore. It sucks, but yeah. Anyways, one if we did get more this August, it won't be until late 2027 or early 2028. So yeah.
Done. The Digital Circus isn't. And I mean, there are a couple of ways they could easily do that. There could be a spin-off show about an earlier era of the circus with the original, for instance. Or they could do comics that are set between the episodes of this show with the main cast. Or maybe they could do like I don't know, like a video game.
That's what I think.
I mean, could you imagine a point-click adventure game
That's
similar to I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which inspired the Digital Circus? And I mean, hey, Glitch recently started hiring for a head of games position, so it could be cool. So if they
then I confirm she didn't. Yeah, that's gonna get for this. It's gonna be a failed game, 100%. Again, especially like I said, if you get to those things, Mason, so this fan game that Docker played on his channel, that are the voice actors. But now the show is done. This can make an official Mason Digital Circus field game with the actual voice actors from the show. So I think that's gonna be one next from Mason Circus. It's gonna be a Mason Digital Circus field game with the official Mason Digital Circus voice actors. So yeah. But if we get that again, it probably won't be too wide because games take a long time to make, and especially if they put in a click game, it's gonna take even longer. So yeah. So if the next thing is a video game for Mason Circus, that probably won't come out to like maybe September of October next year. Because again, video games take a long time to make. So yeah.
He decided to sort of retcon this moment and made it so Kane created a new circus here with the minds of all the members, most of whom we haven't met yet. Well, that would mean there's a whole other circus out there that's basically a right now.
Let me go back. Hold on.
Of all the original cast members?
I'm gonna try this again. I swear to God, it's like with the enemy. I swear. Oh my God.
Files of all the original cast members, most of whom we haven't met yet. Well, that would mean there's a whole other circus out there that's basically a blank slate. And if the blue dot is indeed a villain here, like we've analyzed in this theory so far, well, it's out there right now, all alone with no red dot Kane to hold it back. Maybe you could find that new circus and truly wreak some havoc. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. Up next on Film Theory, Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus is not who he appears to be.
Yes, our tax is gonna be grasping up. That was 100. But I know why that you bug. I mean, they said that series that tax was no scraps. But yeah, I think that's the information. So which might be releasing September or October. If it's a field game, but if it's a field game like season 2, that will probably be like late. It'll be November or December of 2027 or early 2028, like March or April of 2028. So if it's a field game, then with beginning the next season, this circus thing, it'll end up September or October next year. But if it's a season 2, then that probably won't be till November or December of 2027 or March or April of 2028. So yeah, because the last shows even finished. So yeah. Anyways, I'm ready down here. I'm making a leak. It's good to both my reaction to episode 9 and my series type action on the Good Bitch channels. Yeah. Also gonna be in the for your support, I think, on tomorrow, Tuesday. So I'm gonna just wrap it up, and I'm just gonna choose my video to force it to get this point. Y'all just want to put type at this point. So yeah. I'm gonna go check on it quickly. Make sure that the typewriter isn't broken and not, be done right now. Let me go check on it quickly and make sure there's still at a typewriter. If it is, I'm just gonna end it tomorrow. Give y'all one more day to put the tie. So yeah, let me see. Yeah, but it's still a tie, so I'm gonna just end it. I'm giving you one more day to give y'all to tomorrow, Tuesday. And then at 4 p.m. tomorrow, that's the internet, and I'll get out to what Miss Bill to do force, but with my force to Miss Bill reacts to do after recent video at the post. Yeah, my milk is so tired. I have no idea why. Oh, I guess I'm talking a lot, so I'm gonna stop. I must like to peeps. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, I'll touch y'all Wednesday for my next single reaction. Finally, season 12. Finally, geez. And if I don't do my thing reaction this week, then I'm gonna have to do some kind of plus minutes. So yeah. I know I do that, so I was trying to freaking so too long on my thing in Cape, but that's all will be a good little while. So yeah, sorry. Anyways, no rambling. I'm out here. Deuces.